everyone, it's Nisha. So today I wanted to share with you what I have learned about wigs so far. So I'm still very new to wigs. I don't know when the obsession started, about 2 months ago. But it is a learning process and I have learned quite a bit now. I don't know it all. I will leave you in the description box channels where you can find more information about wigs, and channels that actually selling wigs, so you can then see different colors and different styles being worn. Okay, I'm going to be talking about synthetic wigs, not human hair wigs, synthetic wigs. And synthetic wigs come in 2 types of fiber: the fully synthetic, and then there is heat defiant synthetic. And they can be called heat defiant, heat friendly, true to life. They are called different things by different companies, and that basically means that these fibers are a bit different. They feel a bit different. I feel like they are softer. This is heat defiant one, and you can style them with heat, but not on a very high setting. I can't remember. You should always read in your leaflet that you get with your wig, because I think different makes give you different temperatures that you can use. I've used heat, I think, on this wig. This is the Raquel Welch Upstage. I've just put some rollers in this one and blasted with a bit of heat, or I did it on a no, I used curling thong and then put Velcro rollers in because I wanted more height here. But other than that, I don't really see the point of changing your style. Wigs come already styled, so I don't know. But if you wish to, you can always, you know, heat style it. I personally prefer the heat-friendly fibers, and that is because, one, they are less shiny, so they look more natural, like natural hair, and also feel really lovely and soft. Feels like nice, healthy, real hair. But then there is a con to it. True to life or heat defiant fibers matte like crazy. This one already is quite matted at the back. It's the friction, you know, against your neck, against your clothes, against anything. So they do matte quite a bit. You have to look after your wig, and I will just tell you in a minute how to do so. But if you are going to get heat defiant wig for like everyday use, I would suggest the shorter the better, especially at the back, so you don't get that friction. If you get, you know, this length or longer, you have to be prepared for it to, you know, with a bit of matting. Now, the fully synthetic fibers matte much less. You will have less problem with matting, but some of them can be very, very shiny, you know, look like a wig. But this is easily solved by spraying the wig with dry shampoo, or you can buy special powder puffs that you can, or even, you know, baby powder. Also, washing your wig when it first comes might tone the shine down as well. Now let's talk about caps. Cap is, you know, the inside of the wig, and there are several different types of caps, and really that is what determines the price of the wig. So let's start with the cheapest. I've got here Noriko Jackson, and this is not heat defiant fiber, but I must say I feel like Noriko's fibers are lovely. I never had to spray this wig. I don't feel it's too shiny. I really, really like it. So this is Noriko Jackson, and this is the standard cap. Basically what you get is machine wefts, which means that all these wefts are sewn to this cap by a machine. Then you usually have this solid flower lace. You don't get lace front, it's just a solid edge, and you usually get a lot of permatease. And permatease is they are like short little wiry hairs under the hair to give you height and also to disguise the cap, because they don't have monofilament or anything, so you know you don't want it to look too wiggy, so that disguises it. So this will be your cheapest wig. Obviously it all depends on the length of the hair as well, but as the cap is concerned, this will be the cheapest one, and they are very comfortable. I found the Noriko wigs are quite small because caps come in few sizes: petite, average and large. Most people are average, but there are some large and people that are very petite. I'm sort of in between, and I tell you in a minute how you can roughly determine what size of the cap you are. But let me just go first through all the cap types. So yes, Noriko wigs are fantastic. The sizes are quite small, so if you have a larger head, Noriko wigs might be too small for you. Okay, now the next cap, let me just have a look. The next cap will be very similar. Now you can get wigs that will have the same cap as this one and just a lace front. I don't have one like this, but I tell you what I mean. So the cap is again machine sewn. You have, you know, the adjustable straps here. The top would be still disclosed in fat flower lace, and you would just have the lace front. And lace front is like a very thin fabric that makes the hair at the front look as if they're growing out of your scalp. And I'll show you in a minute on that one because I'm wearing one here. I don't have one like this. What I have is, so that one will be a bit more expensive than the first one I show you. Then you get one like this, again machine sewn standard cap with a lace front and a partial monofilament. And monofilament is again this lacy fabric that gives you the illusion of your own scalp, like you can see on here. Okay, so this will be the next, even more expensive than the second one. So basically you can part this wig just on this side to get the natural hairline, but nothing stops you parting it on this side either. So that's your next cap. And this is Ellen Villa United. I have reviewed all these wigs, so if you haven't seen those reviews, I will leave you a link in the description box of my playlist all about wigs, so you can watch all the reviews on there. And then the most expensive cap will be 100% hand tied, and here I've got Jean Renault Julienne. So as you can see, this means that the wefts were not sewn by machine, they were, each fibre was individually sewn on to this cap, and then you get full monofilament, so it covers all this part, so you can part your hair wherever you like to get this illusion of natural scalp, and also the lace front. These are the most expensive caps, but for a reason. You know, obviously there goes a lot of work into it. Secondly, because each hair is individually sewn into it, it moves so much better, moves much like your natural hair, because it's like your every single hair strand growing out of your scalp. So that's why they are the most expensive and very comfortable and beautiful wigs to wear. Now, how you measure your head, I can't show you exactly because I don't want to take my wig off for now, but basically take one of those tapes, and with pulling your hair back, you almost put it like a headband above your ears and right to where your hairline is, and then you see how big your circumference is. There is many ways, many measurements you can take for a wig cap, but this is the one that everybody goes by, the circumference, and mine is about 21.5 inches, and that's sort of petite average, I would say. I think up to 22.5 is average. Anything above that is large cap. So you need to measure your head. Saying that, every wig will fit you differently. You know, average cap from different companies will fit you differently because, you know, they just do things differently. Also, don't expect every wig to fit you perfectly because they are not custom made. To have a cap that fits you like a glove, you would need to have it made just for you. Yes, we all can have the same circumference, but we have different shape heads. Like, for example, I have a very flat head at the back, so I might find that my wigs can be a bit baggy here. You might have a head that is much more, you know, rounded, and you might find that that makes your cap a bit too tight. So don't expect every wig to fit you perfectly. It's impossible, just for that reason that we all have different shape heads, and they obviously make them as one. So if you want a wig that fits you like a glove, you would have to have it made, custom made, especially for you, and I can imagine that would be very, very expensive. Now, washing and caring for your wig. There is a lot of videos out there how to wash your wigs, but basically don't ever use human hair shampoos and conditioners or any styling product. That will just ruin your wig, will dry it out. Most of human shampoos and products have alcohol in them, and this is fabric, this is not real hair, so you will dry it out. Now, I've seen people here on YouTube washing their wigs in fabric conditioner, and they have a very good result with that. I've never done that, so I can't say if it's good for your wigs or not. One thing that I would recommend is getting also a comb or a brush that is specifically designed for wigs. And if you have heat defiant wig, you definitely need one of those, and this one is from Jon Renau. Any wig company that sells Jon Renau will sell those. Also, you need detangler or some sort of conditioning spray for wigs. I've got the Jon Renau Easy Hair HD, which means heat defiant smooth detangler for all synthetic fibers. So what you would do when you've worn your wig and you're ready to take it off, you need to spray it a lot with this spray, and then brush it through and put it back on your wig stand or wig head and leave it like that. That will recondition the fibers, you know, because they do get dry, and especially with the heat defiant ones, I do this every time I wear my wig. And also, you should throughout the day always give it a little brush. If you're wearing it all day, now and again just brush through to stop the tangling. See, I can feel this one is already tangled here. Very gently brush it. Try not to play too much with the hair like you would with your own. The less you touch it, the better. Just give it a gentle brush with that comb and you are done. Now, one more thing about heat defiant fiber. because I know people ask me, what would happen if I've washed that? Will the style stay the same? Yes, it will stay the same till you've curled it. So say I've curled this wig, gave myself little, you know, ringlets. That style will stay. When I wash this wig, I will still have ringlets. They have that memory in them. So if I wanted it straight again, I would have to straighten it. That's why I don't really bother with styling those wigs. I buy a style that I like, so then why would I change it? I might do something, like I said, just for a bit of height, but I don't alter the style. I just feel, what's the point buying that style if you don't like it and gonna change it? And I think the more you use heat on it, the shorter your wig's lifespan, because, you know, even with your own hair, you damage it by heat. So the less heat you use on it, the better. When you wash your wigs, you fill up a basin or whatever with cold water. It has to be cold. Don't use warm water. Remember, this is not normal hair, especially with the heat defiant ones. You don't want any heat on it. So cold water, you pour a bit of that wig shampoo, which you can buy wig shampoos in any of the companies that sell wigs, and you don't wash it like you would wash your knickers. You just press it down gently like this, you know, don't mess too much with the fibers. Then leave it for about 10 minutes to soak. After that, I take it into my bath and I rinse it under running water, cold running water, till I washed out all the shampoo away. Then squeeze the wig. Don't wring it like this, just squeeze the water down. And then I put conditioner on it. I put some in my hands and just apply it like this, and maybe, you know, pull it through, and then I will rinse it again. And after that, you roll it in a towel to get the moisture out and shake it and just put it on a wig stand. I wouldn't put your cap on the solid wig head, because when your wig is wet, that might stretch the cap. Whereas these are quite small, these stands, I got them on eBay, so that is not gonna stretch your wig, and also the air can get through. But when you have one of those solid heads that you know, you have to really fit the wig on, I feel they would stretch the wig cap, and then it might be too big for you, and also there is no air circulating through to dry the wig. And that wig will be ready in a couple of hours. I've washed this wig, I've washed my other Raquel Welch wig. I think I've washed 3 wigs and they look perfectly you know, like new. Also, after, I forgot to tell you, after I wringed it with the towel, I also give a generous amount of this detangler, spray it all over, then shake it, and then hang it on a stand. So this is like the technical stuff. Now let me tell you experience with wigs and what I like. I am not that bothered if I have a 100% hand-tied cap, although I love them the most. I am quite fine with machine sewn standard cap, but what I love in my wigs is the lace front and full monofilament. So this is the lace front. I hope you can see. It looks like the hair is growing out from my scalp, and then wherever I part it, I have, you know, I have that appearance of scalp, and I think that makes the wig look so natural. Another thing I like to do is buy rooted wigs. I think somehow they look much more natural. I know some people just don't like the look of roots, but I think when it comes to wigs, it makes them look natural. Now, the root is especially important in a standard cap like the Jackson. There's got no monofilament, no lace. and I think that the root disguises them, you know, like your natural hairline here. Otherwise, I think you can look a bit wiggy, and the root also disguises the permatease. So I think a little root is good. Another thing about roots and highlights, what's important that at the hairline is lighter, or if the root is dark all over, that there are some different colors coming out of the hairline. Otherwise, I think it looks a bit wiggy, and I'll show you that in a minute on John Renault Elizabeth, which has completely dark root and it doesn't have any blonde growing out of the hairline. Because with wigs, as you can see, the hairline is quite perfect and just like round. No one has a hairline like this, you know. We have like widow's peak, and it goes higher and lower. In fact, I don't understand why these wig companies haven't started doing hairlines that go a bit like that, not perfectly straight as if you drawn a line. That would look even more natural. And I show you, I will swap the wigs in a sec, and I show you on Elizabeth what I mean. So here, because, sorry, you can see a bit of my hair here because I've been taking it on and off. Here, because it's quite light, you can't see where the hair is growing out. So let me just put Elizabeth on. Okay, so this is Elizabeth, and you see Elizabeth's got a dark root as well, and the front is all dark. So when I pull my hair back, you can see this solid, dark, very even hairline, which doesn't look very natural. I think if John Renault put a bit of this light color at the front growing out of your scalp, that would make it more natural. But I think what I've done with my Elizabeth, I part it on this side, I've cut it a little fringe so it falls onto my forehead, so it's not like this, and you can see this very, very straight line. So this is also something to think about when it comes to the color of the wig you're choosing, you know, because the hairlines are a bit unreal. I mean, realistic here that it looks like it's growing out of your hair, but you know, it's so perfect. So all you have to have it sort of falling onto your forehead, or like with the other one, if it has some lighter ones. That's what I like about Raquel Welch wigs. All her wigs, doesn't matter what color they are, they have mixture of colors, and she always puts much lighter colors around your face so it looks more natural. If you don't like the root look, I would get a wig that is quite heavily highlighted or has loads of different highlights and lowlights that go all the way from the scalp, because that will, you know, disguise it a bit. For example, this wig, yeah, it has a couple of colors, but it's mostly blonde. It doesn't have like defined highlights. You see the scalp is really blonde. But because this is full monofilament, that looks quite natural, and it has the lace front as well. Hold on. And it has the lace front as well. That one looks natural. So if you are going to buy wig that is one color, I would really, you know, without roots, I mean non-rooted color, I would really recommend to go for full monofilament and lace front. And I'll show you why. So I've got here the Raquel Welch statement piece, okay, and this is just a standard cap. I am going to sell this wig, by the way. This is a standard cap. You see they've used really light fabric because it's no roots, so it's very blonde. And this one's got just partial monofilament, which means that it has a lace front and this partial monofilament, which means that you can only part this wig in this place. But what happens, let me just show you. Actually, let me put this wig on and I will show you. Okay, so there is your lace front, which is beautiful, that looks just fine, and there is your partial monofilament. So this is where you see like the scalp. But if your hair moves by any chance, can you see this? You can see the actual weft. Can you see it? So if you were outside and your hair done this, dead giveaway that you're wearing a wig, because you can see these light wefts. If this wig had roots, the cap would be dark, therefore you wouldn't have that problem, you wouldn't see it. Or if this wig had full monofilament, that would be fine as well, because it wouldn't matter where removed, you wouldn't see these wefts. So that's why I like the rooted wigs so much, or full monofilament. So I don't think I will ever get a wig that has just partial monofilament. I would rather it didn't have monofilament at all and some permatease, and that would disguise it. But other than that, to me, full monofilament is a must, and I do prefer rooted colors. So like I said, with Julienne Jean Renault, this is fully hand-tied, full monofilament, and this got no roots, but there is no problem with that, because wherever you move the hair, you will have that scalp appearance, even if the hair moved here, because it's fully tied, you don't see wefts basically. Okay, quick change. So like I said, I will do quick separate video what I use under my wigs and how I put them on. I really don't want to do it because it is not a pretty sight when you see my pea head, but whatever. One more thing I would advise when you're starting with wigs is to go for the color very similar to your own at first, and very similar style to what you already have or you had at some point in your life that you know it suited you and you look good in. Because like I've said before, it's hard to get used to wigs anyhow, because whatever you do, most people don't have that much hair. Well, I don't, but you know, it's hard to get used to it, that you have all this beautiful hair and so much hair. And I think if you suddenly went for something that is not you probably won't like it and might give up. So I would always start with styles similar to what you have or had, and similar color that suits you. And once you get comfortable and you find which wigs are best for you, which ones you enjoy the most, then you can start experimenting with different colors and lengths and styles. So in my next video I will show you how I put a wig on, what I use under my wigs, and also a few tricks that I use to make my wigs look as realistic as possible, although with some of them like this one there isn't much work you have to do. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check the description box, because I will leave any information that you need, and stay fabulous. Bye.